mic's off. The mic's off.
The mic is out. Start again.
Oh, okay. Oh. We have a full house. Can she sit down there? Okay. Hi, Katie. Just in time. Just in. No, just in time. Okay.
Do you want to bring a chair up or you want to sit down low?
Okay. Okay. Okay, well, with Katie's arrival, I will call the meeting to order. This is a special meeting of the HARB, January 25th. My name is Richard Leonori. I'm a Scranton architect, and I am chair of the HARB. I would like the board to introduce themselves, starting with Ms. Katie.
I'm Katie Carney, Catherine Carney. I'm the historian.
Bill Lesniak, Architectural Heritage Association, board member.
Michael Muller, Scranton architect.
Conrad Bosley, real estate broker, City of Scranton.
Katie?
Katie Gilmartin, member at large.
Okay. So welcome, everyone. We will start with our review of the minutes. The board has it in their packet of information. I have gone through them. If there are any corrections or additions, I would accept the motion to accept them.
I've reviewed them also, and I make a motion to accept them as circulated.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. We have one review of an application for certificates of appropriateness. It's the former Jack Williams Tire and Auto Center.
Richard, may I recommend that we appoint a secretary to take minutes since we have
Oh, we don't
none?
have anybody, huh? Do we have someone volunteer to do that this evening? We don't have anybody raising their hands. Okay.
I'll nominate myself
Okay,
tonight.
thank you,
I'll do it
Michael.
tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike, for taking
Thank you. Okay. So this is the former Jack Williams Tire and Auto Center, which I have to say, in my opinion, was a pretty elegant tire establishment. Okay. It has been taken over by Mavis Discount Tire, which is a national chain. I think we've all seen Mavis. This is a corporate identity package. Okay. I am not thrilled about this. However, I would open this up to some discussion, and I don't really know, if there's anything the HARB can say or do about it. So, any comments?
Are you here from, I'm from Diesel Science.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she'd have to come to the podium.
It's, the drawings are very complete, I think, so I really don't see much of a,
The same.
They're not really changing except for going with vegan. Although I agree, Richard, I love Jack.
yeah, it was very, for a tire company, I thought it was very elegant.
It's a little more colorful.
It is more colorful. One of the questions I have on this, if you look at the existing, the pilasters between the doors go all the way now to the roof, and it appears as though the Mavis signage is going to run across that. Is that true?
Could you repeat your question?
I think you need to come to the podium just for
Yeah, I think so
the
too.
record.
Thank you. So if you look at the existing building, right, the pilasters now, which are the vertical elements between all of the doors, go to the roof. In the proposal, the Mavis sign horizontal cuts across all of that. What is actually happening at those pilasters? And then when I look at the pilasters on the avenue side, they do continue and the sign is broken up. So
Yeah. What it is it's decorative. Those white stripes you see is just like a decorative stripe. It's not illuminated.
no, they go all the way to the roof.
Yeah, they're going to cover that with, it's all going to be green. I don't know what material they're going to put on the building.
So they're going just over everything.
Yes, and then we're just going to install the sign in the center,
Okay,
and that part's going to be illuminated internally.
okay.
So is this an application for the signage, or is this
Yes.
an application for the other improvements on the building?
This is for the signage.
So do they have to come back then for the other changes?
I didn't know that they did anything as far as the construction part of it.
So you're saying the green panel behind the Mavis sign is not in your scope?
No,
Got
a
it.
contractor comes in and he does that portion, and then we put the sign. Some of the locations, they're just painting the building, so I don't know what kind of material they're going to put there, if it's going to be metal or, that sort of thing. But I know that there's going to also have stripes on each side which are non-lit.
So then we're going to have to request that they come back, right? Okay. Yes,
Nowhere on the building will be the first page of the presentation with the tires and that
That logo doesn't exist on the building?
That logo does, that's what I mean.
it's not on the building,
That
right?
logo does not, if you look at the first.
Yeah, that's just their cover
Oh,
sheet.
that's just,
and
okay, all right.
Yeah,
Right,
They're going to put new faces in the existing pylon sign.
okay.
I would say that unfortunately, this application might be out of sequence because the signage only makes sense on the building improvements,
Right.
which haven't been approved.
Right.
And so it'd be hard to approve the sign if the building improvements aren't reviewed first.
Okay. Yeah, I was not aware, they didn't tell me, that's not part of our scope of work. We're just supposed to handle the signage, so I'll go back to them and, let them know that they have to have the building remodeling reviewed also.
Right. Now, I'm also, on the little corner tower, the Mavis Discount Tire, does that also light up?
Internally, yeah, that's exactly what they have now, except it says Jack Williams. Yeah, so
Well-
that's not changing. The sign itself on the pole is not going to change.
No, I'm not talking about the pole, I'm talking about on the building. On the building currently now, there is no signage there, it's simply a band.
Yeah, let me just look at it, I can't remember. Yeah, they just have signage over the bay doors, for the services they provide, and then they
Yes.
just have the awnings that have the logo on it, on the building.
Yes. Well, I don't know, I'm going to ask, does it all have to light up?
Well, that's typically what they do at all the locations they are.
I know, typically they're on highways and on
Yeah.
stroads and things. This is a downtown in a historic district.
Right.
I mean, I would question, does it all have to light up? Who's there at night to drive by that and see it? You know?
Well, I would make a motion to table the application pending review of the building improvements first.
I think that's smart.
And if there are other recommendations you see for the signage, either you could make those recommendations tonight, so when we do review the signage application, those changes can be incorporated, or we wait to hear the application again and discuss any recommendations at that
Okay.
time.
I would question and recommend perhaps we could limit the light-up element to simply the corner. Not the monument sign, but even the corner of the building. And perhaps this Mavis Discount Tire, the large letters could simply be non-illuminated. What would one think of that? I mean, I'm trying to be a little more sensitive to
Yeah.
Penn Avenue and the downtown context and what we're trying to achieve in the downtown,
I agree.
you know? So we would ask for that, but I think you're going to have to come back, because I think we're going to need to see this with what they're proposing to do to the building.
Okay, so I should recommend to the customer that the large letter set over the bay doors?
Yeah, I would ask, can it be
Non-lit?
non-lit? Yes.
Okay.
And we'll let them light up the corner. What would, do you think that's reasonable?
Yeah.
You know, I think you're certainly going to get a good identity with that, and lighting up the corner seems to be okay with me. Now, I can't tell, are those currently it's awnings, the blue awnings.
No, it's a 180-foot sign, it says in the.
Yeah, well, that is, right?
Yeah,
That's enormous, you know.
yeah, there's 4 awnings that are there.
So it's just a change of
They're
color
just
of
going to
awning,
cover the fabric, put new fabric, umbrella fabric.
and put their green on it.
And that's not this application, right? You're not.
No, I don't have a part of that, yeah.
Okay, I think you need to tell them that we want to see the whole deal. Everybody, you come back.
Okay, but I'll have to come back again to go through this process, or?
I would think,
Wouldn't that be included in the building, like shouldn't it have all rolled into one application?
I would
It
think
could be
should.
one application.
It could be
yes.
one application.
So I don't know
Okay.
if they need to pay for a new hearing.
Yeah, I don't think that would be required, that they'd have to pay for a new application. This should be one,
Need the full application.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to have the contractor do that, because I'm unaware
Yeah.
of construction materials and
right, and
that
that's
sort
what
of
we
thing.
want to know.
Okay.
You know, the other thing, they're painting are they painting the back? Or is the back, I mean, this building, you see it all 4 sides, so. Are they painting the back and painting the side?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Right?
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean?
So there's a
Sure.
motion to table this application pending additional details regarding the building improvements.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you.
And you will ask to see if you can get away without illuminating the big
Yeah,
sign?
I'll try that. We haven't done any of those at any other location,
Okay.
but I'm sure they'd be, willing to
I-
accommodate that.
That seems like a reasonable compromise.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you.
thank you. Yeah, I know it was too plain and too simple to last. Right? Okay, good. I'm happy with how that went. Now, let's see where we are.
Why did I think we had 2 applications?
No, yeah, I think this is it, Katie.
I think there was
Oh, there's one coming in for February.
Yeah, there's one, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, where's mine? Okay. So, our topics for discussion, the HARB solicitor transition. I am going to ask somebody else to take that on. I don't particularly care. I mean, I don't think we have, I don't think what we're doing is of any kind of, controversy, or that we're going to get a different kind of service from one lawyer over another. I would not think.
No.
Right?
Right.
So, for me, it doesn't really matter.
No.
Well, I do think it's important that the solicitor is sympathetic to the cause.
Mission,
Right.
yeah.
True, not hostile. Yes, which is,
I did have, hello, I did have a conversation with Andrew Cotillo. I know I shared that with some of you, and then we got that subsequent email, and he shared those resumes. And I don't recall whether he spelled this out in the email or not, but what he and I did discuss was the potential of maybe forming a committee to review those resumes, decide if we wanted to put a call out for any additional resumes, and then maybe interview 2 or 3 from that group, which I certainly think, and I think to Mike's point, that's a good opportunity to have that conversation, make sure, obviously, anyone there is well qualified to represent us from a legal standpoint, but we want to make sure that we have someone who also is in line with our mission.
okay, so what's our next step on that?
I would say if there are 2 or 3 of us who would be willing to do that, and I would be happy to participate. I see the other Katie over there, so if there's one more of you who might like to join us, we can have a conversation about that offline, not being a quorum, and then bring a recommendation back to the group.
Okay.
Is 3 a safe number for no quorum?
3 is a safe number, yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
that sounds good.
I'll join unless someone else wants to be a part of that.
I don't particularly want to be a part of that. Let me ask, the resumes that we have, how did we receive those?
The city put out a RFP for solicitors.
So, so they got responses?
Yes.
That was last year.
Okay.
So the spring or something.
I think so, yeah,
Okay.
some time ago.
And that's pretty
And
much,
the only question that I had was, do they have to be a resident of the city of Scranton? And that's not a requirement for a solicitor of a board.
Okay,
That was right.
that's good. Okay. So, well, Katie's, Mike, want to proceed with that? And
Absolutely.
certainly if you want me to attend any kind of interview or something, if something's set up,
We'd have a quorum, and I don't think that's allowed, so you can't come.
okay. Now, board reorganization is the next item. And what do we know about this? You don't know anything about it?
I mean, I can share what Andrew and I discussed, that the city is trying to make this a regular occurrence on boards and authorities. I can speak from my experience on the school board. We are mandated in school code to reorganize annually. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to change your roles. It's just that the president and vice president of the board, in that case, are reappointed annually. So we have the opportunity to discuss that. I don't know if, according to our agenda this evening, and without a solicitor, don't know if we want to take that action tonight or just talk about putting that on the agenda for February. That also gives people a little bit of time to think about that. But as we talked about earlier, we do need to appoint a secretary, and we do need to appoint a chairman. And I think it might make sense to have perhaps a vice chairman who could step in if the secretary was not available, or step in, of course, if the chairman was not available.
And so, Katie, as far as you, from now on, we have to provide our own minutes?
That is my understanding at this
So
point.
that will be a task of the board that was not a task before.
Right. I think, and I don't mean to speak for the city or, overextend anyone in any way, I think there is absolutely an appetite for a conversation about what kind of support we might need, but, they would like to see us appoint a secretary to take on that responsibility and, providing that template. I think if there's anything we need in the transition to becoming accustomed to that, they're here to help, but I think they're open to being asked to be here to help, so we can keep that dialogue going, I'm sure.
Well, I think we should put those items on the agenda for February. We can think about it. One of the things, if we have to do our own minutes, one of the things is it could be a rotating task, so that no one is, I think it is a burden.
That's fine.
And,
I just can't.
I think we just have to get some input from the city. Well, we didn't know what happened to the minutes once,
right.
where they are archived, or how they
Where
became
they-
Right.
Go, where
archived
do you
in the
work on
city.
it?
Right.
So that would be one of the things that we should really find out, how they get to where they go,
Yeah, I find it odd that there's no city, that we're losing that coordinator. I really am not, I'm finding it hard to wrap my head comfortably around that. And I don't know how to explain why I'm feeling that, but it just feels very strange that
Well, we're volunteers.
Yeah, and we don't
We're not
have-
paid, we're really only advisory.
And we're not here, we don't see the applications,
Exactly.
we don't, so it's just very strange that all of this has happened very suddenly. And I just feel like there's a great disconnect.
And I think maybe some of those more nuanced points of our concerns could be compiled and brought forward, because, that is an excellent point. We are not working here. We don't see when these things come in. I think we need, if we're given a template and asked to provide very simple minutes, I'm sure we can share that responsibility. But
But it's
I
the
don't want to
things that
see
need to
things fall
happen
through the
during
cracks.
And the
Well-
things that
Right.
need to happen during the business day
Right.
in this building where we're not here. And let's be kind of frank, I've emailed many people from the city over the years, and
I think, our role as this board is much lighter than the role of other boards who have the same burden. And so I can't imagine the zoning board or the planning commission also having to take their own minutes.
Right.
That seems like a much more daunting task,
I would think so, absolutely.
so. If we're on to miscellaneous, I would like to bring up the last time I met with this group, and it was to review an application that apparently was not in the jurisdiction of the city, and I still don't know how any of that landed, but it was an unfortunate situation where we were asked to consider something and be put on the record to state things to find that the application had no jurisdiction here, and it was an oversight, and still don't know where any of that landed because everyone went quiet on it. But I don't know if anyone had insight to that, or,
Are you talking about
I
the
think based on our last conversation and even some of the correspondence in the transition of the solicitor position, I think there is an understanding that perhaps we need to be looking at our legislation and Katie, you can help me
Yeah.
remember that conversation a little bit, that there might be some tweaks we need to explore.
yeah, which of course didn't make those minutes. I'm gonna have to go back. Oh, wait, it wasn't filmed.
Right. Yes.
So Daniel was going to, did he send that letter out, or did he? It was sent to us for approval. He was sending a letter to.
I think there
Yes.
was letters back, at least emails back and forth, and I don't know the final outcome of where the letter
Yeah, I'll
was
have to go
sent.
through my emails and find it, because I know that
Yes.
I know that he sent us an email and that he was gonna send out. I think we agreed that it should be sent. But then we never got a response from that.
I thought the entire package was sent to the city, and that's where,
You're absolutely correct. Thank you, Mike.
but then nothing happened.
Nothing happened, no.
No, nothing else. And I just want to add to the mix, I have a pretty good authority from another historian, that the locomotive that is painted there and the number on the locomotive, it's a Canadian train, it's not an American train. Just to further remove the content of the mural from Lackawanna County.
Good.
Here, okay.
Well, that person looks at it, whereas I drive and I'm like this.
Okay. I don't know what to do about that, Michael. I don't know what more we can say on that. Okay.
I mean, I think investigating where that
Yeah. I will
that
go
package
through my-
stands and what response or what action we need to take, obviously.
My
This issue is beyond us, but we don't want to see these things happen again.
It seems like when there's an applicant before us and we approve it, it's fine, and if there's an issue, we don't have any say.
Right.
It
That
seems
is-
to
yes.
go away.
Yes.
Yep, they
That's
just
very
want us
true.
to be quiet.
That's very true.
Yeah. I understand that was quite a tangled process and not very pleasant within the county. And, okay. Anything else, folks, for the good of the order?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Good, thank you. Second on that?
I'll second.
Thanks, Bill. And our next meeting is regular, February 8th.
Right?
Okay, thank you.
And Michael, thank you. I don't know what, you're going to write them up and do what with them? Okay.
We have no idea.
I'll let the city ask me for them.
You and I are the same.
Okay.
So explain Drewvy's role. She's just, she's a temporary stand, what is?
My understanding is she's basically doing all the same things that Brittany did, except come to the meeting and take minutes, or set up the laptop.
Okay.
That's all.
But she will
I
prepare,
would assume I sent
prepare
her
an
the
agenda.
minutes. on this template, and then she'll upload them to the website and send them on to the
Okay.
other.
Okay,
So we still have a coordinator, it's just they're not
present.
getting paid to stay after hours at the city.
I see, okay.
The city's no longer paying these people overtime.
Gotcha, okay. Thank you, Michael.
We are adjourned.
Thank you.